Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible. I'm just messing about on the bench here. I've got a game coming up this weekend, trying to set some rifles up, go to Chrono, the MCX Spear LT on 0.3s. Now it's sort of all set up, and I'm running at 1.3 joules. That's not good. And I was just thinking, with the valves, I've got valves downstairs that, I could chuck a valve in. And I'm thinking, what if somebody else was in my position and their game's tomorrow and they don't have time to order, XYZ product off the internet? How could you combat this without having to change your propellant, your BBs, yada, yada, yada? So I've just gone to Chrono my Noveski, EMG Noveski, and same issue. Now it's set up, running on a better hot rubber and a slightly longer barrel compared to what they come with stock. Running on 0.3s, put it through the Chrono, and it's not on there anymore, 1.4 joules. So, right, how can we combat this? And what we can actually do, and this is what the guide is going to be about, you can make your very own MWS, anything that runs on that kind of running gear, and has this type of valve. It might work for other GBBs, it depends on what the valve looks like. How can we combat the issue? So we can make our very own Npas, and I've just done it on my M6 Spear. I've set that's now running at bang on like 0.99 joules, perfect. So we're going to pull apart the EMG Noveski. We pull this part out here, we pull the valve out, and you might have seen my valves, we changed the sizing on the outlet to basically restrict the gas flow. But what we can do is we can basically copy, what a lot of VFC platforms do. What I put in the 249, I think Clarence Lie does these. And we're basically just going to tap this valve and put an adjustable grub screw in there. And I can't tell you what grub screws you need to use. I think these are M3 grub screws. I just found a couple of them like literally randomly on the bench. So the outside diameter is 2.93, so it's an M3 screw. I believe they're a 1.5mm Allen key adjustment, which yes they are. Doesn't really matter on the length, the length of the ones that I've used, again, they're roughly 7.8mm long. But again, I'm not going for a certain size. I literally just found a couple. I think the other one that I used was slightly longer. And that's what we're going to use. Basically what we're going to do, we're going to drill the valve. You might think, well, what if the screw comes loose? Now, once I'd done it through this method, it's not going to be something that you can set on the fly. So once you've got this valve in with a grub screw installed, you can't just put a tool in and turn it. It doesn't quite work like that because the valve will just spin inside the nozzle. And when those grub screws are in that plastic, especially on the Toxicant MCX Spear LT, it's really difficult to turn. You really have to clamp down it and turn it. And what I was finding was every half turn back or forwards was doing 0.1 of a joule difference. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take the valve, and what I did to start it off is I just used one of these little modelling drill, like a little model drill. Use them for doing like miniatures, Warhammer, anything like that. I've just had one because I keep one on the bench just because it's useful. So I'm just using some small drill bits, and it doesn't really matter at the moment as long as I don't go over the size that I need. So I'm just using a small drill bit. It doesn't necessarily mean, it's not necessarily crucial that, you want to make it as centered as possible, but if you're like half a mil off, it doesn't really matter. So we're just going to take the valve, I'm going to earmark where the center is, play it by sight, and turn this little drill bit in there. Yeah, that looks about center. And the reason I'm starting it off like this is because I have better control, and usually because the chucks on like your electric drills, tend to not want to go down to something so fine. So we'll put that to one side. So I don't know what size that was, but it doesn't matter for now. I'm just going up to the next size. Will this fit in there? So you have these little chucks with these little sort of modelling finger drills, if whatever you want to call them. I'm just going up to the next size. They literally come in a pack. It's that old that the drill bits are rusty. And I'm just going to open up that hole. That's probably about 2 mil. And then for the final part, because my 2.5, it was kind of difficult to do it by hand, I've got a 2.5 mil drill bit and I've got it on the slowest speed on this drill. And I'm just going to run this through. Be very careful. Go at a very slow speed. A very small amount of pressure. But the key thing that you want is you just want it to be straight. So we get the swarf out there. And there we go. So once I've done that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my grub screw and I'm going to do this from the back first because we need to cut a thread into the valve. And we're going to start to turn this in. It might be worth using something a bit bigger to start it. That's the wrong size. So take this, and you'll see how easy it is to start. It might bind up. This one's easier than the toxic one. The toxic one got stuck straight away. And there we go. I've just pushed the grub screw in. I'm just pushing with my hands and turning it to create the thread. And every now and again you want to back it all the way out just to clear any of the schmutz that's stuck in there, and that's now gone all the way through. And then once you've gone all the way through, you're going to back the grub screw out like this, and we're going to push it in from this side, and I'm basically going to go in until it's flush with the back. Now this part, and the reason why you have to put it in the middle is because it sits on this spline here. So you'll see that there. Now what I want to do, so this sits on the back like that. I want to get it so the grub screw is touching that inner edge, basically where it's going to seat on the valve bracket thing that's behind it. It's very close. And it might not be the case of this measurement works for different guns, different barrel lengths. So I get it so it lines up there like that. I'm at 1.4 joules. So I'm going to switch to just an Allen key now. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to look where the Allen key clocks like that. Okay. So I want to go down 0.4 of a joule. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 turns. So I'm just watching where this is. This is kind of lining up. See if I can line this up a bit better with another part of the valve. So it's just before that section there. So I want to go half, 1, 1.5, 2. Like that. And you'll see it sticks out. Again, this could be very different because all the components, the back sections are different, the valve plastic's different, but you can see it took quite a bit of force. So that screw isn't going anywhere. You don't need any glue, you don't need any thread lock. And what I'm going to do, so pop the valve back in. What I will say is I'm not a massive fan of the nozzle on the Toxicant MCX Spear. Just the fitment of the nozzle, the valve in the nozzle just isn't the greatest, and it's probably why Marui spec nozzles won't fit. We push that in all the way till it lines up with the hole. We put our screw back in, and there we have our DIY MWS Npas nozzle done. Push it back in the bolt carrier. Line this pin system up at the back here, so that goes on. Slide out with the piece back on. And because I've set up a buddy of mine's gun as well, he hasn't used the gun really since he bought it. I think he used it once. He's had some upgrades in his as well. And when I chronoed all these rifles yesterday and realised they're running, because we want to run the MWSs this weekend, realised that all the guns are running about 1.3 joules after all their upgrade parts. I needed to find a solution, and I just thought, I wonder if, like I say, there's a way you guys can do this at home. All you need is a couple of small drill bits, the tools to take your bolt apart, and a little 3mm grub screw. The first one I found, it was just on the bench. The second one I found in my AAP 01 bits box, which is over there. So we're going to test this now. Now, it might not be set up. The first time I put it in the spear, I just wound the screw in and like guessed. And it went straight down to 0.6 joules. So you've got a hell of a lot of adjustment on it. What to do with the upper? There we go. But we're now going to test it. So I've got 0.3 gram BBs. This is the mag I literally just tested. In there. Put the gun back together. Now I'm going to show you this just so you know. I've literally just been testing this, and there's already, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, there's already a BB there in the hop. Oh no, I don't want to load another one, so let's drop that bolt first. Put the mag in. Chrono's set to 0.3s. Again, this could be anywhere. Come on, chrono. There we go. I'm at 0.8 joules, and literally 12 minutes ago this was firing at 1.4 joules, like literally DMR limits. Still at 0.8 joules. Keep going. Still in the 0.8 joule range, so gun works fine. And there we go. Just thought I'd do a quick video because, you know, strike when the iron is hot, so to speak. It's helped me get around, you know, having to downgrade 3 or 4 rifles for the weekend for me and a buddy of mine. And I can quickly upload this to YouTube, hopefully get it uploaded tonight, who knows. And that is how you DIY yourself an Npas, and then you don't have to buy valves off anyone, and that's including me. So this is a far easier at home method. You don't have to wait for any parts to come in the post. Again, with the valves, and I did stress this in the video, every gun is different. Now, if you wanted to pick up a set of Jaeger Precision valves and have them spare so you can drill them, you know, happy days. I might even go and drill a load of valves myself and get them ready for you guys so you can buy them on the website. Who knows? I need grub screws to do that though, don't I? So thanks for tuning in. Hope that's helped you. You can get your Npas below your field site limits if you're in a pickle, at home if you've just got a couple of things dotted about. I'd use a grub screw. You don't want to use anything with a head on it that could block the airflow in the valve. I'm going to leave that there with you. Have a beautiful weekend, a lot of you. Thank you very much for supporting the channel all this time. We're just about to hit, I think, 11,000 subscribers, so thank you very much for that. Don't expect it, but if you like what you see, subscribe and like, all that good stuff. And from me, and more importantly, Bench, we'll see you in the next one.